to please take this case as if Mohbad were your son. Because if it were so, everybody that had one contact or the other with this man would have been brought to book.
Not about emotion. It's serious business. I can remember I met you 3 years ago, like you said, there's no emotion. I'm standing in front of you, there's no emotion. It's not emotional.
Welcome back to this channel. You heard what that lady said at the beginning of this video. You're still going to hear more. She is speaking directly, face to face, to the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwolu, handle this case of Mohbad as if it were your own child. A lot of people know who Mohbad is now. Before, people didn't know him. He was just an upcoming Nigerian music artist. But after his RIP, he went viral. It went really viral all over the world. Even people that are not Nigerians are interested in this one. They are on to it. And this has put pressure on the apparatus, the state apparatus, security agencies and all of them to do the needful. This woman is reminding Governor Sanwolu of the need to make sure that this is not swept under the carpet. She's reminding Governor Sanwolu that we are all looking at this case and we are all watching it, and we do not want this to be swept under the carpet. No, not at all. We want due diligence to be done on this one. Like I said, we'll be listening to what this woman has to say and what Babajide Sanwolu has to say as regards the update of Mohbad RIP. This is not the first time that we'll have a case such as this one, but this, unfortunately for politicians or for whoever is behind or might be connected to certain people who are on this, who are connected to the case, if you know what I mean. Because we are hearing that there are some people with vested interest on it, not that they are directly involved, not that they commanded certain people to now go and RIP Mohbad, if you know what I mean. No, not at all. Not as if Mohbad was a thorn on their flesh. No, Mohbad wasn't connected to politics, and he has nothing to do with that. So it's not like someone said, look, go and hit that guy. It's just that somehow he moved around certain people who, unfortunately, didn't have his best interest at heart. What we heard is that Mohbad had argument with his fiancé, or let us say, is it baby mama, as regards DNA. And from that, it led into something else. A lot of cover-up. That is why this woman wants the governor to do the needful. Let us listen to what she has to say. And before that, please tap on the subscribe button. Very important. Tap on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell.
We all are familiar with this case already. So my name is Nnenna Iwuchukwu. I represent myself. We all are familiar with this case already. And, there was a very huge outcry at the time here in Nigeria and in diaspora. And people were almost calling for the heads of these people, who we saw all over social media. It was going round that they were involved in this crime when Mohbad died. So eventually we were told, because we don't know anything, we only go by what we're being told. Eventually they were brought back from wherever they were perching outside the country, and eventually the investigation started. It lasted for maybe like 1 month, and we were told again that they were on bail. They were not found guilty of anything. I would like to, if I'm allowed to, go back and rephrase the words of Mohbad. If anything happens to me, hold so people responsible. I don't want to call names. I'm not afraid to call names, but I don't want to call them because it's like stating the obvious. We already know what happened. No, everybody here is familiar with the case. Now, it seemed like eventually, after a month, these same people hit social media, flaunting themselves, holding their phones, saying things like "Ukbo, Ukbo," I don't know what that means. I'm Igbo, but for me, what I understand is that is a way of bragging, and that really, really provokes my spirit, honestly. My Excellency, I want to remind you, about 3 years ago, I was on this same platform talking about how concerned I was about Sylvester Romani's case. And that really hit me hard. That incident really, really hit me hard. Because I remember after you left the building, I met you downstairs and you said to me, we're on this case. Don't worry, we're going to see to the end of it. And 3 years on, Sylvester Romani is supposed to be 15 years old, by the way, this month, because I've been following up on that case and nothing has been done. And to me, it's as good as dead. And because Sylvester Romani's case had a slap on the wrist, that is why Mohbad's own came to life. And I'm thinking, who's next? Okay, my governor, I'm sorry if I'm taking too much time, but I have to finish, I'm sorry. Please, my governor, you have the power to preside over the affairs of Lagos State, and everything reports to you. Everybody reports to you. Please, I ask you to please take this case as if Mohbad were your son. Because if it were so, everybody that had one contact or the other with this man would have been brought to book in one way or the other. I also want to mention that I know in functional countries, where they have good laws.
It is not about emotion. It's serious business. I can remember I met you 3 years ago, like you said, there's no emotion. I'm standing in front of you, there's no emotion. It's not emotional. It's real. People get killed, people get named. We see it every day. I don't go to bed until 5 a.m. 3 days ago, I was just complaining. When we had the crash of a vehicle, of a lorry, that crashed into the other. Nobody needs to video me. Please. We're not joking here. I don't want to get emotional. We'll do the job, we'll do it well. These are police officers. The Mohbad case is still live. They're still treating it. We had to take the forensic out. The forensic that we built, that is the best in sub-Saharan Africa, was burned down during NSAS. We had to take the test out. They've done all their reports. Not until when it comes back that they can tie the two together. There are people that are in detention as we speak. They've not released them. Let's give little credit when it's necessary. Little credit, that's what we're saying. We don't need to come here and want to grandstand and make it look as if we can't speak back. We can. We are also human beings. Man, we're also human beings. We get to do this job with everything that we have. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome back. There is nothing clearer than that. The governor, obviously, he is hedgy at this moment and at this time. And he made mention of something that is very important. He said, we should not be shipping out specimen for test, forensic, toxicology and all of that. We had a state-of-the-art laboratory. But NSARS, certain people who were so foolish, certain people who were ignorant, decided to attack state facilities, not knowing that something could happen to their loved one or to them, and they will need that facility to take care of them. Now, this is a lesson, a big one, to anyone out there. You cannot just be a protester or activist. You have to reflect. That's what makes you a revolutionary. A lot of people need to re-educate themselves. They need to understand when we want the attention of the government, there are certain actions that you take. You don't go into rampage and destroy the same and very thing that you might need later in life. This is a big one. This is an example. In fact, the house of the governor, if I could remember, was also torched down. It was torched down. It was set ablaze back in those days. Things happened and people were really angry. And that's as a result of the atrocity of the police. They were, in fact, what they did in those days, they were more like a criminal cartel. They took people's lives. They did a lot of terrible things. Some of them back then, we even heard they had POS machine. to take money off you. You will swipe if you don't have. There are times that they get info of certain individual who probably is domiciled, let's say in Malaysia, in some of this country, and maybe they got some info that these guys are into some scam or something. They wait. Once you come back, not because anyone reported you most of the times, they just know that you have money. They drain your bank account. They take everything that belongs to you. They use their office to finish you up, and they waste you. They waste you. They know no one is going to say anything. Whatever report they write is what it is. It's a cartel. They have like a group, and they have people higher up there that they answer to. So there is no way you want to report them. You want to report them to those that they answer to. Now, that is the reason why this woman definitely is saying, look, it's like a case of a young boy in the past. Till now, we've not found anything about it. And she started going into that obvious, observation. I might want to call it that, because I cannot be in support of any state apparatus. No, not at all. If you get into their trap, that's when you realize that they are bad people. They are terrible people. We know how things are. So she started going into that. If it were in a country where things work, obviously saying things don't work here, this country, and that was what the governor was not going to accept. He quickly jumped into it like, hey, look, I've not slept. I don't even sleep until 5 a.m. What are you talking about? The truth is this. In countries where things work, they keep on and on. They don't sweep it under the carpet. But in Nigeria, there is always that possibility that once the case is looked into and they know or they don't know, they just sweep it under the carpet. That's the end of it. Unless it concerns an active member of the elite, either a businessman or politician, they will do all and make sure that they resolve it. Look at the case of Tupac. It's not as if certain people don't know. Let us just say, although I'm not sure, but the case is still ongoing till date. So that is what I believe the lady wants the governor to kind of take note of. Like, look, we are watching you guys. We are not going to allow this to slide. No, not at all. You guys need to do the needful. You need to kind of wake up to your job here. Handle this as if it were your own son. Very important. Very much important. I don't know what you think about this one. Drop your comment, like and share. See you in the next update.